Have you been told that losing muscle after 60 is just part of aging? That it's normal to feel weaker, slower, less steady on your feet? Let me be clear. That is not true. What you've been told for years, that muscle loss is unavoidable after 60, is outdated science. And believing it could be the very reason your energy, mobility, and confidence are slipping away. Here's what most people never hear from their doctor. You're not just losing muscle. You're losing the connection between your brain and your body. That connection can break down quietly, years before your muscles ever shrink. And if you don't address it, you're not just risking weakness. You're risking falls, fractures, fatigue, and the silent decline of your independence. But here's the truth that almost no one is talking about. You can rebuild muscle after 60. You can retrain your brain to activate strength again. And you can do it faster and safer than you think, with one natural compound your body already knows. Creatine, not a steroid, not a bodybuilder's supplement, just real science, with real-life results for people just like you. In this video, we'll uncover why muscle loss starts in the brain, not your arms or legs. How creatine helps both your muscles and your mind. A daily plan you can start right now, no gym required, and how you can reclaim control of your body, energy, and dignity, no matter your age. So if you're over 60, or love someone who is, this could be the most important health video you watch this year. Let's begin. When most people think of muscle loss, they imagine shrinking arms or weakening legs. But the real decline doesn't start in your limbs, it starts in your brain. After age 50, the motor cortex, the part of your brain that controls voluntary movement, begins to slow down. And when your motor neurons, the nerves that send signals from your brain to your muscles, stop firing regularly, they start to fade. This process is called denervation, and it's the silent beginning of sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It's not just that your muscles are getting weaker, it's that the electrical signals telling them to move aren't getting through. That's why one of the first warning signs of muscle decline isn't size, it's balance issues, slower reflexes, and struggling with once simple tasks like climbing stairs or rising from a chair. Take Alan from Ohio. He's 68. He told us that a year ago, he started feeling shaky stepping off curbs. He hadn't lost weight or muscle, but his confidence was slipping. He thought it was just normal aging. But what was really happening? His brain was no longer efficiently activating his muscles. That's where creatine comes in. You've probably heard of creatine in the context of bodybuilding. But what most people don't know is that creatine exists naturally in your body, especially in your muscles and your brain. Its job? To help your cells create and restore ATP, your body's energy currency. When your brain sends a signal to your muscle, it takes ATP to make that signal fire and to get the muscle to contract. Without enough energy, the signal weakens. And so does your strength. Research published in Neurobiology of Aging shows that creatine helps restore this connection. Even without major exercise, older adults who took daily creatine showed stronger neural activation and better muscle engagement. This isn't hype. It's biology. Creatine helps your nervous system fire faster and your muscles respond better. The result? More power, more stability, more confidence. Here's how to apply it right now. Take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate once daily. Combine it with a simple movement, like standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times. That trains your brain to rewire your muscle activation. Over time, that small effort adds up to stronger steps, better balance, and more control. Let's talk about another common myth. People think protein powders are the key to rebuilding strength. But for people over 60, creatine is more powerful and more essential. Protein gives you building blocks. Creatine gives you energy and activation, which are what you need before your body can even use protein. Unlike protein, creatine isn't broken down in the kidneys the same way. It's safer, easier to digest, and more directly tied to strength and cognitive health. Let's look at two people. Diane, 72, from Texas, was drinking protein shakes every day, but still felt weak and tired. Once she added creatine, her energy improved. She said, "I stopped dragging my feet. I could finally walk the dog again." Then there's Jeff, 64, in New York. He started a light strength routine, push-ups on the wall, band rows, and paired it with creatine. He didn't bulk up, but he said he could finally carry groceries up the stairs again without stopping for breath. Creatine works differently from protein. It improves energy recycling in both muscles and your brain. And it's especially important for those who eat little red meat or fish, the two best natural sources of creatine. Let's talk about how to use it. Here's your plan. Each morning, take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate, ideally with water and a small breakfast containing carbohydrates. Why carbs? Because they help shuttle creatine into your muscles more effectively. You don't need fancy creatine. No loading phase, no cycling on and off, no super blends, just plain, pure creatine monohydrate, the kind used in nearly every clinical study. Then, move your body. Here's a weekly routine. 3 days per week, perform. Chair squats, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Standing leg lifts, wall push-ups, resistance band rows. It's not about lifting heavy weights. It's about retraining your muscles to respond. And creatine helps that signal happen more reliably and more powerfully. But there's more. Creatine doesn't just help your body. It helps your brain. Your brain uses 20% of your body's energy, mostly in the form of ATP. Creatine helps the brain restore ATP just like it does in muscles. In a 2018 study published in Experimental Gerontology, older adults taking creatine showed improved memory, better focus, and resistance to mental fatigue. Have you noticed yourself getting more forgetful lately? Feeling foggy during conversations? Creatine might help, not as a drug, but as a natural fuel your neurons need to perform. It's especially important if you're eating less meat, or following a mostly plant-based diet. Your creatine levels may already be low, and that affects both physical and cognitive energy. One simple practice: take your creatine dose before reading, solving a puzzle, or organizing your day. You may notice better clarity, steadier emotions, and less brain fog over time. Finally, let's talk about something deeper: aging at the cellular level. Creatine doesn't just build strength or sharpen memory, it supports mitochondrial health, the part of your cells responsible for generating energy. As you age, your mitochondria weaken. That means more fatigue, more inflammation, and slower recovery. But studies show that creatine buffers mitochondrial stress, reduces damage, and even supports DNA repair. This has huge implications. Long-term creatine use may help delay age-related diseases like Parkinson's, reduce inflammation, and improve overall resilience. You're not just surviving longer. You're preserving your ability to think clearly, move confidently, and live fully. Creatine isn't magic. It's not a miracle. But it is one of the most researched, effective, and affordable tools we have for aging with strength and grace. And if you haven't started yet, now might be the perfect time. Because the truth is this: you're not too old. You're not too late. Your body still listens, and it still responds. Even a few weeks from now, you could feel the difference. More strength, more energy, more peace of mind. And it all starts with one small scoop. Let's take a moment to reflect. What you've heard today isn't just about creatine. It's about choice. It's about possibility. It's about taking back control of your strength, your energy, and your independence, one day at a time. You now know that muscle loss is not inevitable, that brain fog is not just aging, and that something as simple as a 5-gram scoop each morning, combined with gentle movement, can start to reverse years of quiet decline. You deserve more than just managing your health. You deserve to feel confident in your body, clear in your mind, and calm in your future. That's why we created this channel, Elderly Healthcare, to bring you real science, explained simply, with tools you can use right away. If today's message helped you think differently, if you feel more hopeful, more informed, or more in control, subscribe now and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new video made just for you. And in the comments below, tell us, have you ever tried creatine? What questions do you have about muscle, memory, or aging well? You're not alone. This is a community of people just like you, learning, sharing, and growing stronger together. Because aging isn't about giving up, it's about powering up. And your next step starts today. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay curious, and stay well.